Hello, I'm Skylar Weatherford, and this is the 1991 Chrysler TC by Maserati, and we're going to try and do a more in-depth video of how to fix the taillight. It was working, and it quit working. We're going to see what the problem is. So first things first, take the hard top off. If you have it off, you're good. If you have the soft top up, take it down because you are going to be needing to get right here. It's on the tonneau cover and not in the trunk. Now that you have the tonneau cover lifted up, you'll want to get to the tail light and have to pull this little black rubber protective off and look for the screws. It should be a Phillips head or a cross point, whatever you call it. There's two of them. As you can see, they're right there. Maybe or maybe not, you might have to take these black pins out, maybe not, and unplug it. Right there, we'll find out and let you know. Screws here, which they should be pretty easy until they're not. Try not to lose the screws.
Okay.
And you'll want a partner to go back and hold the tail light.
Want me to do that?
Yeah, go hold the tail light.
Oh, there's two of them. Should be coming loose, isn't it? Yeah. That's the screw. Go ahead and undo the other one too.
You do that one.
I can't hold the hammer. Kind of a pain to get to. I've seen some of these that had the holes drilled out in the rubber. That would make it real easy. Probably the hardest part of the job. I'll go back over here and pull the tail light. Now do the other side. That one's loose. That one's loose. You got the screw? You see the screw in it right there. Okay, undo the other one a little bit more. We'll pull on it while you're doing it. There you go. Okay, now you can see the wire. Okay, go ahead and undo the wire if you can find it. Just sit up here.
Hey, can you go back and...
Huh? I can, but you gotta undo the wire.
Got it, it's fine.
You can see the wire.
Okay.
Okay. You gotta push the wire through the hole somehow. Right here. Okay, there's the plug shoved up under. This way you gotta do.
Okay. Let's go ahead and start.
Oh, it's rolling. It's still rolling.
Okay, you'll have to edit
I never
this.
stopped it. Undo that.
So you'll have to take off these black pins to get to this connector here, and real carefully, because it's old plastic, you'll want to take it off just like that, and then this will slide through the little hole. Ooh. And that's how things get scratched right there. Okay, so now that you have your taillight out, you're going to take this little rubber protective, slide that down, and on the back underneath here you have these little pins, clips here. You want to take a small screwdriver, unclip those, should be able to come right out. Now sometimes this could go wrong, or the bulbs could go out. That could be the root of your problem, but in this case all the bulbs are working and the connector's working. So now we're going to take a voltmeter, any voltmeter you have, set it on ohms, which is right there. And a common problem is these little rivets here. These little rivets get corroded in there, and they're not getting power, any current to it. So what you're going to do is take your red one, you're going to put it in there and see if it beeps or not. So, and do it to each one. Oops. Take it to each one. You can hear the beep. Beep. Yes. Okay, so that tells me this one is working. And you take your other one, this one, and Okay, so we're not getting any beeps on this one, so that tells me this one is corroded. That is the problem. So beep, and then this one is, so that is the one right there. That little rivet is the problem.
Try pushing down on it and then pushing on the metal, see if it starts to beep. No, on this side.
As you can tell on this one, it is working.
Okay, I just got a little Dremel tool with a small wire brush on it. We're going to try to see if we can't clean this terminal up some. Next thing we'll try to do is maybe put some solder on it to get it to join. What I did to make this work was I took this little pair of vice grips and I put them on this rivet like this, and I turned it a little bit. I just put that there, clipped it, and turned it like that. That's all I did. That broke the thing. Now I'm going to take this stuff right here, which I dearly love. It's called Deoxit D5. And I'm going to give it a little love with some spray. And that usually, I guess while I'm down here, I'm going to go ahead and pull all the bulbs and put some of this D5 stuff in there. Really good stuff. I use it on everything. This is the place where you can stop and check all the bulbs if you want to, but I may do that.
Okay, very important note to notice. If you're like us and you have bad hydraulics in your tonneau cover, make sure that your little square connector does not get bent when you go to lay this back down. Make sure it's not like that or like that. Make sure it is where it's got some room. So beware, don't let it look like that. We're going to see if we can get it plugged back in. It didn't crack, it just kind of bent it. Maybe it did. Remember, now we have the root of the problem figured out, and we're going to put the tail light back in. Make sure this rubber thing is facing the right way, like that, towards the back. You're going to take your connector, and you're going to try and slide it through the hole. Scoot that up there. If you have nice paint, you don't want to scratch it. So you're going to, rubber's going to be a little hard, maybe. Yep. So you try and put it back through the hole. Come around, go fishing for it, and boom, right there. And try and connect it. Like I said before, be careful with the way. This is going to take some work. Okay, so we'll probably have to take a little screwdriver or something and bend that. Okay, so we took this little tool and we bent the old 90s plastic back where it can fit in just barely, and make sure it clicks like that. And before you put it all back, see if it works. So
I'll hold it up. I want a repeat of that.
Yeah.
That actually goes up in a hole under the carpet. That's why you have to kind of pull those pins out.
Let's see if it is working.
Yep, that's all it takes. Okay.
So now we're going to carefully, best we can, put the terminal. So now that you have the tail light off, ready to put back on, doesn't matter what stage you do this, now's a good time to clean behind here because they can get dirty. So very carefully with these, first you want to make sure all your bulbs are plugged in. Very carefully slide your old 1990s plastic into place, the clips, and just like that, it's clipped in. Slide your old 1990s rubber brittle back into place best you can. It'll take some doing. And when you have your tail light off, you can wash, make sure it's dry. You don't want any water corrosive in there. Wash in here because dirt gets in there and it can hinch your brightness of your lights. Just like that, it is in place. And take your very small screws that are easy to lose. Have a partner hold the light in place with tonneau cover back up and screw your screws in from inside. And if you're a sad, miserable person that doesn't have a partner in your life, or a son or a child, take some non-sticky, non-goo masking tape and you can tape it up there to it so it can be held in place. And since you have very nice paint on your car, you want to be very careful about what kind of stuff you put on there. Oops, I went too far. So that holds it into place, so you sad people don't have a partner. And just as an extra precaution, from previous experience, put something, a rag, something there to protect your paint when that lifts up, just in case it falls, because it's not yet secured. Okay, now the fun part. You get to take your two screws. Hopefully they won't fall. Lift this back up and go fishing for your screw holes behind the rubber. And it helps to do this in the daytime too. Okay, so can you go back and hold the light with...
Did it pop off?
Yeah.
Figures.
Well, it just needs to be
Yeah.
straightened up.
Well, the tape idea didn't work too well, did it? I guess if you hold it, it will. Yeah. I think that's the hardest part of it, isn't it?
Well, I don't want to take that one off. So now that you have your light back in place, you screw your screws in, you pull the rubber back, and a little thing about the tape, you want to make sure that the screws are lined up. If it's that hard, you can always screw things here and put your hand there. It's not that hard. And put your pins back in, close your top, and here's your finished product.
Ta-da.